In an industry where perception is everything, I couldn't help but wonder, how do we manage the perception of our PR agencies? How can we balance a good company culture, good client relations, and ethical decision making? Hi everyone, my name is Ceci Edelberg and I'm the PRSSA National Vice President of Professional Development for 2024-2025. I am also the past Managing Director of the University of Florida student-run firm UF Alpha PR. Today, I'm sitting with Jane Dvorak, APR fellow PRSA. With over 30 years of experience, Jane is a consultant lancer and the president of JKD exclamation point. From strategic planning and public relations to project implementation, JKD does it all with humor and heart. Jane has won several awards, including PRSA Silver Anvil in 2011 and 2016, and PRSA Mentor of the Year in 2013. She also served as the PRSA 2017 National Chair and is a champion for PRSSA. So, hi, Jane. Thank you for sitting with me.
Hello, I'm excited to be here.
So excited. So, we're gonna start with the questions. What inspired you to start your PR firm, and how did you take the leap?
I didn't. I wasn't. I was going to be a mom and Google June Cleaver and you'll know what I was thinking. But a friend called and needed a newsletter written. She was working for the governor of our state, Colorado, on an initiative, healthy initiative, and they had a newsletter. And she's like, you could write this without even thinking. So JKD was created in a weekend. I had a typewriter, a desk, and a phone, and a 13-stair commute. And that was 35 years ago and 79 interns. There you have it. And it's been awesome.
Oh, I love to hear it. So, what are some of the challenges that you have had running your own firm that people maybe wouldn't really think about?
Well, I think when to say no, and establishing boundaries. I work out of my home. I worked out of my home before it was cool. Uh, but understanding, and that was some advice my father gave me, make sure your business phone rings only in your office. It doesn't ring throughout your home. And I think the other thing that some people might not think about is understanding what value you bring to the table and not to devalue that because someone wants to do something for less money or doesn't want X, Y, or Z. So don't devalue yourself. And I think those are things that come with over time of working, and when to say no, when a client isn't right or when the work is no longer, you're not giving them as much as what they need, or maybe there's a better person than you. Money can be enticing. But I think learning how to say no, having boundaries, and not devaluing yourself.
Yeah, something that's super interesting and something that's definitely, I like the phone only ringing in your office. I think that's a good, great,
No
great way of.
regular business hours here.
No, I love it. And the other question that I have is, how do you balance creative work with the operational side of running a business? I feel like a lot of us come from the creative side. Like, I know one dream of mine is to own my own firm. And sometimes I'm like, wow, like I don't have an MBA, I didn't go to business school. How do you learn how to run a business or operate a business?
Well, yeah, I avoided finance classes like the plague in college for sure. I did take a marketing class over in the business school, so I had that knowledge. But uh, one, I would tell you by studying other successful business people and unsuccessful business people. Why did they fail? How did they fail? What did they do? Um, I think for the most part, though, you can't do the creative work if you're not running your business efficiently and effectively. Do I love doing book work? No, I'm pulling my hair out at this time of the end of the year is the worst time of the year. Balancing books, W-2s, all the IRS forms. No, I hate it. And do I love filling out all those forms? No, I hate them. Um, do I want to think about what equipment I need and softwares I need and how they're all going to network? No. But sometimes you need to do that to manage your business and be able to do where your talents and strengths come in. So I think that's essential to keeping your doors open. You can make choices to hire people to do those things. I choose not to. I have a very simple business, so and I have interns, so I don't have a lot of employees. I'm not a boutique agency. I'm an independent consultancy. So there's some simplicity to what I do. Um, but I think sometimes you just need to power through those things, but also surround yourself with good people who can give you good advice. I have a good CPA. I have some really good business people that can give me sound business advice that did get their financial degree, that did get a business management degree. And business management was also my minor, so I had some of those courses in school too. But the one thing I would tell you though is I think it's critically important to understand sales. Even as a communicator, we're selling stories, budgets, whatever. But understanding the sales process and being able to sell your business and your services, to understand how to integrate and talk to other people is going to help you in your business expertise and being able to be successful in that road. I've been lucky, very lucky, I think. But my dad was an entrepreneur, and I know several other larger business owners that have been very kind in giving me some good sound advice. Don't be afraid to ask. That's what I would say.
That's good advice and definitely makes me feel better about one day opening my own practice. So I used to be the past managing director for student-run firms, so I got to deal with a little bit of that. I was doing collections and spreadsheets and all those things, and now I help other student-run firm leaders with doing all those things and other things of running essentially a small business out of their college. So if you had any advice to student-run firm leaders, what would it be?
Trust your team. And I think that's true whether it's a student-run firm or whether you're a department head or you're running an agency, whatever you're doing, you're working in a nonprofit, or you're an executive director, you've parlayed your communication skills up even a higher level. Trust your team. Give them the guidance that they need to do what needs to be done and understand what that is, but then give them the space to do that. You have to trust that they're going to get it done. They are not going to do it the way you do it. It is not going to be the same, but it's no less in quality or value to the project. And that is hard to let go when we take such personal ownership of things. Making sure that you give them that space. I work with a plumber here in Denver, and one of the things that the owner said to me early on was, well, I'm going to continue to do plumbing, and I'm going to let Jane do the communications because Jane knows communications. I don't know communications, but I know plumbing. So I can help Jane understand plumbing, and Jane can help me understand communications and how that will play within my business. What a beautiful thing to say, because he can lead in his way with his talents and passions and skill set and expertise, but he's trusting that the people he's surrounding himself with will be able to bring those skill sets to the table that they need to fill in those other gaps. So let people choose the lane down the highway they want to go. As the leader, you're telling them what the destination is.
Yeah, that is something that I definitely struggled with when I started, and I had to come to terms that I wasn't going to see every piece of work that ever got
It's
put out.
hard.
I was checking the big deliverables, but it was really scary because I would meet with a client and I would be like, we're gonna do this work and it's going to be this good. And then I had an awesome team that could check it, but it took me, I think, the first couple months when I realized that I wasn't going to see every piece of work was a really hard realization to come to.
It is. It's hard to let go. We all want to own it, and we're very, very careful. We want to make sure it's right. And but guess what? Other people can do it right too, just a little differently.
Yeah, and it's been a great lesson, I think, that I took from my time as managing director.
Good. You'll use it for forever.
Wait. Can you tell me a little bit more about hashtag CJ Revolution?
Oh, I hope Todd Cooley's ears are ringing. He's a retired PR guy out in California. He coined the phrase "Crazy Jane" many years ago as part of when we were on the Western District Board together, and he was he was on the national board with me as well. Um, and all the fun and antics and laughter that we had uh, as colleagues, and that the revolution part is that I think laughter is the key. When we laugh, you can laugh and be professional. A lot of people are like, oh, you're just not behaving, you're not being professional. You can be professional and have fun. It's okay. Whether or not you're improper, that's a different thing. So having some laughter in your life, I think that spurs creativity. I think it spurs innovative thinking, critical thinking, problem solving. Those are all things that we need to do our job effectively and to have some fun when we're doing it. It's okay to enjoy your job. It's good for your soul. It reduces your stress. And guess what? It's a language everybody understands. Everybody. So for me, CJ Revolution is a tribute to laughter at some level every part of the day. It's in my email signature, quotes in and around my office. As a national chair, that's what I gave to everybody when I finished my term, to laugh often. But I think it is important. Giggle a bit, snicker, belly laugh. It's okay.
That's, I think, the reason I initially asked to interview you, because as someone that enjoys laughing and I love the work that I do, and I would tell my team, it's not that serious. It's gonna be okay. And just because you don't take yourself that seriously doesn't mean you don't have to take the work seriously.
No.
My team always knew that I would like laugh through it, and then when it came to the work, it would be awesome work, and I would like catch every single little mistake, and we would work on it until it was perfect, but that we didn't have to suffer through the process. Um, so
Life is not about suffering through. Life is about getting through. And at the end, looking back and going, I got no regrets. It was all beautiful and wonderful. Didn't mean it wasn't challenging. Didn't mean that we didn't have some trials and tribulations through all of it. But in the end, when we look back, did we enjoy it? Did we live fully? Yeah.
yeah.
And I just, for me, laughter is a big part of that. No surprise, I'm known for my laughter. I'm usually the boisterous one in the room, which is fine.
It's
There's
a
worse things
great,
to be known for.
it's a great thing to be known for.
I was gonna
Um,
say, if there's one thing people are gonna know me for, I would prefer it laughter.
Yeah, 100%. When I was a student run firm, I would tell my team, you're not getting paid for this. And something that like I kept in the front of my mind at all times, because I was very conscious that I was working with other students. Um, and we were all there for the same goal and to do great work. But I knew that if people weren't having a good time, they would go to other student organizations where they were. And when we fixed that internal culture, it's actually when we started to really grow. Because people just wanted to be in our agency because we were genuinely having fun. And I think it also allows you to meet people and really get to know people beyond that corporate or like beyond that working together, which has been very important, especially when you're all the same age.
Yeah. When we know people at a very pure level, we can learn to agree to disagree. We can have different views and be respectful of that, but we can still be productive together. And that's where I think laughter comes in all of that. I think it gives us a place that everyone understands that. And again, it's universal language. You can go any country and not be able to speak that language. You laugh, you smile, they got it. They know what that means, right?
Yeah.
So what a beautiful thing. So,
Yeah.
so CJ Revolution. I'm spreading laughter everywhere and silliness, and I'm okay with that.
I'm so subscribed. I'm subscribed to CJ Revolution. I'm on
Awesome.
it.
And I have my own hashtag. How awesome is that?
So awesome. Um, Talking also about leadership, and because ethics is a big part of what we do at both PRSA and PRSSA, I wanted to know a little bit more about what does ethical leadership mean to you?
Means everything. Um, I think our reputations are, um, there's no way that you can put a price on your reputation. They're priceless. Um, I think it means as an ethical leader, it means that you're not afraid to question people's actions. It means that me and my clients are honest and we're accurate and we're transparent in all things that we do. Um, I think ethics isn't black and white, and I think that's where people often get caught. They think it's black and white. Is it wrong to kill someone? Yes, that's unethical. Is it wrong to take someone's money? Yes, that's a crime. But for the most part, ethics are gray. It's very gray. And so you will be faced with ethical challenges in your career. I certainly have been over the course of mine. And as national chair, I was faced. Um, 23 days into my leadership on what does ethics mean from a PR person, and put out a statement to that effect. I think that's an important piece to ethical leadership, is being an example, being a role model, and being willing to stand up when it's hard, being willing to speak out when it's difficult, to not compromising your own values, our profession, individuals, or issues. And having been in those situations, I don't regret it. I would do it again in a heartbeat, because I think it's that important. I'm grateful my line in the sand is right at my toes. Not everybody has that flexibility, but there are ways, if you're in an unethical work environment, to remove yourself, to be able to distance until you can completely remove yourself from those situations. I've always been lucky enough that I can walk, and I'm not afraid to walk, because I do believe, sounds very religious right now, but faith, I do believe that God will deliver. So if something is taken away and I have to walk for ethical reasons, I believe something else another door is going to open, another window is going to shift. And so having an open mind and spirit to those kinds of things, I think that happens. But I just don't think, as communicators, me as an individual, there is a reason or a time to be unethical. That's just my snarky, uncompromising, ever ethical professional position. So I'm glad that I was able to represent PRSA on the national level in that capacity.
Yeah, I think something that you said, it's like the courage to walk away. And I think when we think about ethics, we don't immediately associate it with like fearlessness or courage or that kind of like impulse to actually getting up and saying, I'm not doing this and speaking up. And I think that's such an important part of it. And it's so important knowing that you have the courage or you will have the determination to walk away from something if you feel in your gut it's wrong.
Well, your reputation and integrity are yours, and the only person who can take them away from you is you. So nobody takes that away from you. You may allow someone to do that, but I don't know why you would. So, and my reputation is everything. It gets me jobs. It comes before me, and it's there when I leave. So I'm not willing to compromise that.
Yeah. I know you touched a little bit on it, but I would like to hear a little bit more about your time as national president.
It was so much fun.
Let's do
I
it
had
again.
another hashtag. I had a hashtag then. It was called Chair on the Go.
You're
Um,
on the go.
Chair on the Go. I did over 40,000 miles as national chair, going to chapters, big, small, little cities, big states, little states, multiple times in a state, in different places in that state. Um, and what an opportunity to meet such amazing people in our profession. I consider myself, I'm not, there's nothing sexy about what I do. Ceci, what I do is I work with a plumber. Does it get sexier than that? No. Um, and I'm very local hometown girl. I'm not working with giant, massive, sexy accounts, on national and international levels. It doesn't mean that the work that we do isn't valuable. And that's what was beautiful about all those miles traveled. And over, I think it was over something stupid, over like a 500,000 steps or craziness. Anyway, I did log it all back all those years ago. But um, no matter where I went, people took such pride in where they were from, where they were working, and the work that they were doing. And what a beautiful thing to see that they really, whether it was a grand scale or it was very tiny, a little tiny privately owned company or a small nonprofit making changes in their community, that they took such pride in that work. And that was just a beautiful thing for me to be able to experience. I did come up through the ranks to PRSSA, just like you. I didn't go to the national PRSSA level. I would have never, ever done that. The fact that I was national chair is a shock. Quite frankly, I'm just a little average girl from Lakewood, Colorado, and I work in my basement. Who knew that you could be national chair? Um, So I think PRSSA is a beautiful thing within our organization and that we have a student component. It allows you to begin to build networks. It allows you to begin to expand. So go Colorado State University, go Rams, all you little Gator people down in
I'll let
Florida.
you.
I know. Well, go Rams. Um, so as a aspiring PR pro in college, I was able to really meet some amazing people then. I didn't meet presidents of countries, which was pretty cool as national chair, but I mean, one of my mentors that I met then is still my mentor today. She's 80 years old and we're still friends and she still mentors me and um, how incredible it is to have those relationships as a result of an organization like this that last decades, that transcend big cities, big organizations, little ones, and different disciplines. What a beautiful thing. How incredibly lucky. I am just blessed beyond words that I got to have that experience and opportunity to be national chair.
Yeah, I think that
Truly.
we talk a lot about like networking through PRSA and PRSSA, but I think the friendships are a really underrated part. Like I have made like genuine friends, people that I text about like non-PRSSA and non-PR things to check on their day, and I
Fun.
know about them and their lives. And like I ended up rooming over summer with someone that I met through like the PR world. It's like it's a really awesome organization to be a part of, but an awesome like field also.
Yeah. There are so many times in my own business, 3 clients in 35 years did not come from a PRSA connection. All the bulk of my work has come from a PRSA connection or someone I met at a PRSA meeting or a conference or so the value of those dollars and that investment in yourself, oh my gosh, it has paid off in millions of accolades, dollars in the bank, opportunities to learn and expand and explore. I can't put a price on it.
Yeah, and I also like what you said about small businesses. And I, as student-run firm director, and like I talk to other people, we all, almost all student-run firms work with small and local
Mhm.
community businesses. And it's so awesome, especially I've been lucky to be involved for like multiple years. And sometimes you start working with a
Yeah.
small business when they're like small and you see them grow. And we have a coffee cart that we work with. They're called Honey Night. They're in Gainesville. And when I first met with them, they had an idea of a coffee cart. And they didn't even have, they had stickers and a brand, but they didn't actually have the cart. Like they were like still painting it. And now they're like gotten permits to be in the university. And like they were, like they're an approved vendor for the University of Florida, which is like so huge. And they were on campus and we have kind of like grown with them. They've had the same account supervisor for 2 years, and it's they ask us now about like other things that are not only PR, just because they want our opinion and other stuff, and that to me is like such a big compliment, and it's something that we don't like take lightly at all. So
Yeah.
I love it. It's
Awesome.
a really awesome part.
It is an awesome part. We're lucky.
Yeah, 100%. So we've gotten to the speed round.
Here we go.
So
I'm a little
let's
afraid.
no, let's do it. Number one, if your firm was a TV show, which one would it be?
Friends.
Oh,
Friends. It's funny. It's connections. It's relationships. And I think that show is about bringing community together. And I think that's what I do on a day in, day out basis. Yeah, I'm a connector. Um, as much as I am a friend to many of my clients. I'm grateful when they hug me when I walk in. Um, and we certainly have had plenty of laughs along the way within their organization. So that humor element comes back again. But so friends.
I love it. Number two, what would be the title of your autobiography?
Yeah, what would? Uh, live fully, laugh often, or as my mom would say, get crinkle faced. Laugh until your face is just crinkly and you're crying and your ribs hurt and it's so good your whole body is warm. That would be the title. Get crinkle faced. I don't know, but live fully and laugh often. I do think I live fully. Every single day, probably much to the chagrin of my husband that I pack so much into a day. But life is short, and you only need to be reminded of that once, maybe twice, in my case. And um, again, to what we said earlier, I'm not going to have any regrets when I go. It's all good. I've done it. A lot of boxes have been checked.
If you are taking suggestions for autobiography, I feel like I need to read about Chair on the Go and A Million Steps as National Chair. I feel like I need it. I'll help publicity. I'll like book deals. I feel like we can sell it.
Chair on the Go was a hoot.
Chair
There's
on the
a
Go,
it's
A
probably
Million
still, well,
Steps.
everything lives. You can go search. I posted all my trips and what I was doing and where I was going and
That
yep.
it should be a book with pictures. A Million Steps as National Chair. Just let me pitch it to you. Just hear me out. If you ever write it, I'll be here.
Look at you, you little idea girl, you. I love it.
No, I would read it. I think it would be awesome. And my last question is, why did you decide to become a champion for PRSSA, and what is your favorite part about being a champion for PRSSA?
I think I became a champion because mentors were important to me when I was coming up through the ranks as a young professional and as a student. So mentoring is the key part to that. But also giving back. I think it's important to give back to your profession. My profession has given me a lot in this little basement enclave here. Um, so I think it's important to invest in those who are going to follow you. We, as the people who come before or as leaders, we are paving a path for the generations to follow. So Champions for PRSSA is a way for me to be a part of that upcoming aspiring parapro. Plus, here's the selfish reason, it's so much fun. It's so much fun to be involved, but also inspiring. What you all know and are learning and how different the world is from when I came up and had a typewriter to use and a wax and X-Acto knife to do layout. I didn't have Canva, you spoiled little people, you. So for me, it's as inspiring to be with all of you and your energy. So that's a very selfish reason, but I think it's important. We have a responsibility to give back to our profession so that the next generation can carry it forward and do it every bit as good and better than we did it. You all are going to do great things. It's amazing to watch what you end up doing, your passion and your ambition. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm a senior, like currently in a job search, so it's definitely nice to hear that about confidence. And I know a lot of other students are in the same position. So,
Don't be afraid. You're ready.
oh,
You're more ready than you will give yourself credit, and give yourself the grace to be ready.
I'm gonna put that on my wall. I'm gonna make a little tape.
You are
Like
ready. Jane said so.
Jane said so, you are ready. T-shirts and
There,
PRSA
there you go. You just went into PRMA. We now have a whole entire merchandise line.
merchandise line. And when can
Merch. We need merch.
I'll talk to Milagros. Um, where can listeners find more about Champions for PRSSA?
Well, from the PRSSA.org website, first and foremost, is a place to go. And there's a whole list of professionals there. So we're just waiting for you to call. We've already said yes. So don't be afraid to call. We already told everybody, yep. Sure, I'll chat with you however much you want. I'll look at your resume. I'll help you with a challenge or prep for an interview. Of course we will. And all of those people on that list have already said that they're willing to do that. So don't be so afraid to, one, ask, and two, to make the call. Just say yes, do it. It's there. It's a resource. PRSSA gives it to you.
And where can listeners find you if they want to join the revolution?
Yeah, the revolution. Holy moly. Well, Facebook, I mean, JKD and Company on Facebook, but at JKD Jane on Instagram and LinkedIn and I am on Blue Sky. I'm just exploring Blue Sky. See, you guys, you come up with all these new tools, and then I got to learn things. I'm on X. I wouldn't tell you I do that much on X, except for rant about or brag about the Nuggets or that kind of stuff. I'd love to tell you it's totally professional, but I think I'm pretty easy to find. Look me up.
And before we go, are there any parting words you'd like to share?
Yeah, I think it was what we were talking about. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail and have patience. You're the most impatient group of people I have ever met. You want it immediately, but careers and networks are built over time. They don't happen just like that. It takes time and investment. And that's the other thing I would say. Never, ever stop investing in yourself. It's not your mom's job. It's not your employer's job. It's your job to be smarter, better prepared, on top of what's happening and those changes. So that's that lifelong learning piece that I think is important. And then, of course, never stop laughing. Charlie Chaplin said, "A day without laughter is a day wasted." And I believe that. If there isn't at some point you can't find a time to laugh wholeheartedly or a little bitly, I think you need to reevaluate where you're at. Life is really way too short to not really fully enjoy it. So I hope that I embody that. I hope that people look to me for that. And I hope when I'm gone, people go, "She was fun to be with." And we laughed our what's off when we were together. And those are the memories that people take away from. And it's not that I don't appreciate all the good work that I've done. I do. And I'm very honored that people have recognized me for some of those things. The Colorado chapter just recently renamed the Mentor of the Year award, which I received in 2013, the first one. They renamed it for me. So it's now the Jane Dvorak Mentor of the Year award, which is, how cool is that?
That's so cool. That
so cool. Is cool. But in the end, I think the best thing that we can leave people with is a good memory of a good time, and that brings them joy. So that's what I hope I do. So, and what fun to do this. My kids are like,
"That's so fun.
You're going to be on a podcast?" And I'm like, "I know."
Can confirm.
How cool is your mother? Very.
So cool.
Thank you very much.
So cool. Jane, thank you so much for joining us and sharing about your experiences as a firm director and all things PRSSA and all the wonderful advice that we are soon going to put on t-shirts. For more information about champions for PRSSA, as Jane said, check out the website linked in the show notes below. Ways to connect with PRSSA National are also linked below. If you have any ideas for Student Stories episode, please reach out to Lane at vpbrandengagement and PRSA.com, which is also linked below. Thank you so much for listening. This has been Chats with Champions featuring Jane Dvorak, APR fellow PRSA. Stay tuned to our social media channels or turn on your post notifications to be notified when a new episode of PRSA Podcast is released. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was fun.